From Idaho's capital city, we are ready for hoops tonight in the Gem States. Tonight, it's the Hawaii Pacific Sharks taking on the Boise State Broncos. ExtraMile Arena is such a good basketball environment, and these fans have been waiting a long time for this game here tonight. Garrett Jones here with you, folks. So awesome to be back for Boise State men's basketball. You know exactly what time of year it is when you got Brian King in the house, former Bronco guard. So great to have you with us. Look, Brian, every single year we say it. This year it is especially true. Boise State, on paper, has its most talented men's basketball roster ever.
Garrett, it's pretty talented. I mean, you lose Degenhart and Cardenas, you kind of go, how are we going to replace these guys? And Leon Rice and his staff go out and get Andrews and Fielder, starter at Georgetown, starter at UCLA. By the way, Andrews averaged 27.5 points in a Pac-12 tournament a couple years ago. They really are built for success this year, and I'm fired up for the Broncos.
You take a look there on your screen. 7 new faces, including Andrews coming over from UCLA. Drew Fielder coming over from Georgetown. This team is absolutely loaded and hoping to skyrocket in the Mountain West once league play rolls around. Well, speaking of the Mountain West, Brian, Javen Buchanan earned the 6th Man of the Year last year. This coaching staff thinks when it's all said and done this year, he could be the player of the year.
Boy, he really's got a shot. I mean, he can score from anywhere. He's got a big body. He finishes well. He's got a beautiful three-point shot, great free throw percentage, great kid. Everything about him is something that you want to like. He's got a shot to be the player of the year in this conference.
The Hawaii Pacific Sharks, the challenger tonight out of the Division II level. Boise State has been dominant in home openers this year. They're looking to put on a show with this brand new roster and their new toys. Boise State, Hawaii Pacific. It's next. Under the lights at ExtraMile Arena, anticipation building for the season opener for the Hawaii Pacific Sharks and the Boise State Broncos. You take a look there behind the haze at the Sharks and their starting lineup. A Division II opponent out of the Pac-West Conference. A connection between Mike Burns and their head coach, Jesse Nakashini. Former Bronco Pavle Kuzmanovic played here last year. You might know that name. They have a very talented roster coming back. They brought back every single possible player that did not leave due to graduation last year. Get a look there at the Boise State Broncos in their brand new uniforms. Brian, going to be so exciting to get to see what kind of rotation Leon Rice delves into tonight. But you know, this is the best 5 guys on the floor tonight to start.
Yeah, Garrett, I think so, and I think you nailed it. I'm excited, right? As just a fan and a guy sitting here watching the game, I'm excited to see these 5 and the rotation that Coach Rice and his staff go with. But I'm telling you, these 5 guys could play for Boise State.
First ever meeting between these two teams. Boise State has had some success against the Pac-West Conference before. An opportunity tonight to get to understand their identity, get a little bit more rust behind them. The Broncos, of course, played against U of I back on October 17th. Brian, you played in that matchup. You want to see it back every single year, especially with that taste of the Broncos that we got a couple Fridays ago.
Oh, it's such a great event for Boise, Idaho to have the Vandals back in town. It was a really good competitive game, a great atmosphere in downtown Boise, and I would love to see that game every year. Earliest
game in program history. It's all led to this. Scott Brown, the 114th ranked official in KenPom last year with the basketball in the air. Ron Brokenbow and Aaron Dickerson are officiating crew tonight. Hawaii Pacific with the basketball starting out in a half-court set. 15 and 14 last year. They nearly turned the basketball over there. And, Brian, we get a look at the Boise State defense that wants to improve. They were still really good last year, top 70 overall in that metric, but they felt like they left a little meat on the bone.
Yeah, I think it takes a while, right? I mean, game 1, realistically, for the Broncos, and Coach Burns will have them dialed up, but they're going to hang their hat on defense, which they have traditionally done for many years now.
10-10 last year in the Pac-West was Hawaii Pacific. Coach Jesse Nakashini told us that's their guy. Joshua West, he misses a 3, and in the arms of Boise State's guy, Dylan Andrews, the transfer from UCLA. Peanut Carmichael, a triple won't go, and a rebound from Oz Dusanich.
Boy, good look for Carmichael. Obviously a shot. He's going to make that shot a lot this year, Garrett.
21 points against New Mexico right here on this floor last year. Really his breakout game. Here's Quentin Mesa, the Utah Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. Beautiful backdoor find. Dusanich on the bucket. And Hawaii Pacific breaks the seal tonight. Now the Broncos respond to very potent offense. Over 76 points per game last year. They were 39th in the country in offensive efficiency. Andrew Meno to the 10, and the 12-point per game score from a year ago has his first bucket.
Boy, and a great back cut, great read, and a great pass from Fielder as well.
They really feel like he's even better than he was last year. 14 points off 7 of 9 free throws against Idaho. Into the paint. This is West going right at Javen Buchanan. How about the start for the Sharks?
Well, Joshua West, I think everything's going to go through him tonight for the Sharks. Big body, big, strong finish.
Get a look there at the senior. Caught up with Coach Nakashini in his 3rd season at shoot-around this morning. I asked him, who's your guy? He said, 4 in black. I said, who's your guy defensively? He said, 4 in black. He said he is their guy.
Big, strong body from Chicago. Probably tough as nails, I would guess.
Quite a dynamic transition from Chicago to Hawaii. They play in Honolulu on the island of Oahu. Beautiful place if you can ever get there. West going after the board, and Drew Fielder, the Boise native, picks up his first rebound. Andrew Meno off the mark and a rebound to Mesa. Sharks look comfortable. So does West. How about that transition bucket?
Heat check for West.
What a start for the Sharks. West with 6, and it's a 6-point lead for the visitors. David Buchanan, 6th man of the year last year in the Mountain West. Off on his first triple. And Mesa Bulls. West downhill. And the rebound to Drew Fielder, the Georgetown transfer. Enoch Carmichael again. Bucket from distance.
Such a smooth shot. Good push by Andrews to get to the shooter right out of the gate.
32% from last year. They really felt like that was his floor. He could be even better if he sticks around for 4 years.
Boy, I think he can be so much better than 32. I mean, I think he's probably a 45% shooter.
Quentin McCullough, another newcomer in this roster. Into the paint. That's not the Bronco defense they're looking for. McCullough taking advantage.
No, Coach Burns clearly will not be happy. Dribble penetration 3 times down the court for the Sharks. Leads to easy buckets.
All right, Javen Buchanan finally healthy. He's fouled in the paint. Brian, I don't think you would have known this if you just watched him last year. He was playing extremely injured, had hip surgery last year, which is certainly no gimme. He's coming back from back and hip injuries, and they really feel like his ceiling is really indescribable.
Yeah, Buchanan, if he stays healthy, I think he really is capable of a blowout season here. I mean, we talked about in the Open, just can score at any level against anybody, and you know, a very calm player as well. Doesn't force it, takes good shots, just poised for a breakout season.
Western night in the Boise State student section, the Corral, they have turned out here in the first week in November. Buchanan 2 for 2, and Boise State back within a 3-point bucket.
A little full court pressure, a little soft pressure by the Broncos, a different look. See if they can keep the ball on the perimeter off the dribble this possession.
Joshua West, the transfer from Dominican University. He was the freshman of the year in his league at that school. NBA range for Mesa, that won't go, and that's not the shot that they're looking for. It wasn't the outlet Boise State was looking for. Another chance for Hawaii Pacific. McCullough, no. Good interior defense, but a better follow from the Sharks.
Well, Coach Burns might lose his mind here pretty quick if that happens defensively.
Dylan Andrews, his first try in a Bronco uniform.
Oh, and a good one. I'm so excited to see Dylan Andrews this year.
100 games played at UCLA. Could you have imagined in your day, Brian, if a point guard who played 100 games at UCLA transferred right here to Boise?
Wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. I'd have been without a job, Garrett.
We don't want that, Brian.
Or he could have got me a lot of shots. One of the two.
That's not what we were going for. We're not trying to take your job. Another triple for Hawaii Pacific won't go. Drew Fielder clears the ball. The Indiana native, Javen Buchanan's found such a wonderful home here in Idaho. Dylan Andrews hoping for some of the same. Drew Fielder right down Broadway. And the whistle on Hawaii Pacific will take us to our first media timeout. Both teams filling each other out. Give Hawaii Pacific a ton of credit. Dylan Andrews and the Broncos trying to take the lead. We got to look now at our keys to the game. Brian, when you look at this, anything catch your eye?
Well, Boise State so far, it's not guard the three, it's guard the basket, right? And they've had 3 possessions. Dribble penetration has led to easy layups. But for Hawaii Pacific, for sure, guard the bigs behind the 3. I think our bigs against Idaho in that exhibition game hit 6 threes.
6 of 9.
Yeah, 6 of 9. So guard the 3 for the big guys. But if you're Boise State, you probably want your bigs in the paint, doing the dirty work. And if you get a step-out 3, those both are capable of knocking those shots down.
Hawaii Pacific did the very first objective there. They won that first media timeout. What a cool story here, Brian, as Drew Fielder goes to the free throw line. He's a Boise, Idaho kid, played right here at Rocky Mountain High School, eventually transferred to Southern California when he was just 16 years old. Get a little more exposure, and it worked for him. He was recruited out of high school by Georgetown. He eventually worked his way into the transfer portal. He committed to USC and Eric Musselman for a night. Said he was sick to his stomach. He couldn't sleep. He knew he had to be in Boise, Idaho. Gave Coach Rice and company a call. Here he is. And Boise State is going to be much better for it this year.
Yeah, really a good get for the Broncos. And Drew really does have a deep connection to Boise, Idaho. Roberto Bergeson, the assistant coach on the Broncos staff, was his youth coach, the Hoop Dreams basketball club. And so from a very early age, he's got a deep connection to this community.
Avi Halpert has checked into the game for Hawaii Pacific. Another player their coaches told us to watch out for. He can run a little of the point with Mesa late shot clock. Nemanja Sarnac into the game for the first time today. Mesa no. And the rebound pinballs into the arms of Andrew Meadow. He's very good on the glass, pulling down 4 rebounds a game last year.
Bowie and Neto for the Broncos. A couple different players at the guard spot early.
Neto, the true freshman. Bowie back for his sophomore season out of Pocatello, Idaho. Drew Fielder, the Georgetown transfer, 7 points and 5 rebounds a game there. Picked off by West. All-conference selection in his prior stop at Dominican University. Oh, you can see why he's just scorching hot tonight. Already 9 points, Brian.
Oof, again, tough kid out of Chicago. Big body. He's not afraid to be here in the big city.
You think he was excited to play a D1 game tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Drew Fielder going to work. Here is A.G. Neto all the way from Luanda, Angola. Andrew Meadow. Julian Bowie. Springborn the rebound for Meadow. Neto lost the handle. West on the run. Look out below. Not the finish he was looking for, but it counts the same in the box score.
Yeah, we talked about at the break that it's not unusual for this to happen. Early in the season, you're playing an AIA or a D2 school. This is not unusual. Broncos will just take a few minutes to get their feet under them.
A.G. Neto fouled. That'll be the 3rd on Hawaii Pacific. Both teams making changes. Sharks get in Josh Nasiolu and Quentin McCollum. Boise State subbing in Dominic Parolin and R.J. Keene for the first time in 2025. David Buchanan ready to toss it in. Broncos 44th in the net last year, top 50 team in KenPom. Nearly missed the NCAA tournament by just 1 game. Neto the dribble drive. Bowie's step back. Last touch by Boise State.
Broncos really getting about any shot they want right now. Maybe a little impatient offensively.
No field goals over the last 2 minutes. This was a team that was top 39 in the country in offensive efficiency last year. Ridiculously good on the offensive glass. A steal for Dominic Parolin. What a bounce pass. Oh, what a breakup there by Halpert. Give him credit for not giving up on that play.
Yeah, really good effort. Bowie had a dunk there. Maybe one of his first one of the season, clearly. But Broncos are going to have to earn it. 28 on the shot clock.
Dominic Parolin into the game, and Bronco fans have been excited to see him play. The transfer from Lehigh sat out all of last year. Assistant coach Lex Williams told us this week that they are so excited about him because he knows exactly what they're looking for after that year sitting on the bench.
Well, a veteran player, big body, finishes well at the basket, and can really step out and shoot it a little bit as well.
David Buchanan over his first 2 from the field, the reigning Mountain West 6th man of the year. Dominic Parolin got his big body in the way there. Whistle on Boise State. That's only the team's second, but first on Dominic Parolin.
Well, Parolin, you're right. That is a big body. That's not somebody you really want to run into. This kid's going to hurt tomorrow when he wakes up.
6'9", 245 out of British Columbia. And speaking of a big body, Brian, a player you're very excited to see, Spencer Aarons, the true freshman, also from Canada, checking in wearing number 16.
Yeah, again, I'm really excited to watch some of these young players play. And Aarons is just highly touted, super athletic, super long.
How about that defense he played on the inbound?
There you go, right into the game. He's ready to roll. Making
his collegiate debut tonight. Thrived in the exhibition against Idaho. Most of the Broncos did in an 89-83 win. A.G. Neto. Where's the contact?
Boy, Neto's so quick off that first step and that first dribble. Really hard to guard. Showing a lot of confidence as a freshman as well.
We're really going to have to enunciate this year, Brian, between Meadow and Neto.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to get confusing.
I won't be good at it. I'm just going to tell you right now.
That's all right. We got it for you.
You got me covered.
A.G. Neto to the stripe, like we said, from Angola, played at the NBA Africa Academy. Coach Williams told us he's a rock-solid dude the whole summer. How he does anything is how he does everything. He said he was a great surprise. 9 points and 3 assists against Idaho. He didn't look fazed by that environment. He's a long way from home. There's a guy who can thrive this year in the number 2 point guard.
Yeah, a lot of confidence, great work ethic, plays hard at practice. Like, I think he's a great addition. He's, as a freshman, he'll play a lot for the Broncos this year.
A guy who will run the point for most of the game is Dylan Andrews. He's back in, taking over for Alvaro Cardenas. Broncos, of course, trying to, quote-unquote, replace Cardenas and Tyson Degenhardt. On a 26-win team a year ago, they made it to the semifinals of the inaugural college basketball crown.
Cardenas was such a great point guard for the Broncos, but, you know, unbelievable job by Boise State staff to find a replacement.
Yep.
So quick. And maybe even an upgrade.
You think about what the portal is like, Brian, for these coaches. Your season ends, or in the case for Boise State, right, they were still playing. You have to evaluate who's out there. You have to make a quick offer to them. And then you have to get them to sign on the dotted line. And you're stuck with them for the whole year. Boise State feels like they're not stuck. They feel like they have great talents in tow. But it all happens so quick in a 14-day span.
Yeah, listen, these coaches don't sleep anymore. They don't get summers off like in the good old days. I mean, these guys are working 24/7 because you just never know if a kid's coming back, not coming back. You might not know till the day after your last game or the day before your first game.
The coaches said they're so appreciative of Athletic Director Jeremiah Dickey and Deputy Cody Gogler, what they do in initiating the Bronco Pro for Boise State, their NIL directive. It has really helped this team accrue a ton of talent. Inbound to Parolin. Julian Bowie attacks. Dylan Andrews. Another carom off a rebound. Boise State out-rebounded its competition by 8 last year. What a dime, what a jam. Kane to Parolin on the deuce.
Well, that's what R.J. Keene does, right? I mean, really simple play. Gets it to the right guy in the right spot, and Parolin flushes it.
Nearly 2 assists per game for Keene. He averaged nearly 5 rebounds. He is the ultimate glue guy for Boise State. West in the paint, unfettered and unstoppable. He is 5 of his first 7 from the field.
Boy, he's not, like I said, he was fired up to play in this game, to get into the mainland, play a D1 team. He's showing he belongs.
Spencer Aarons on the attack. Julian Bowie. And a rebound for Dylan Andrews. A little soft touch won't go. Parolin again on the board.
Big
How about that for the Lehigh transfer?
Big fella. Again, a lot of elbows, a lot of muscles in there coming off of him.
Jesse Nakashini needs a timeout. They're not rolling over lightly. They still got the lead. Boise State chipping into it thanks to the Parolin jam. Oh, Boise State played in the inaugural college basketball crown that went well into April. They ultimately fell to Nebraska. Leon Rice recalled the conversation that he had with Dylan Andrews after Andrews had committed, and Dylan was saying, "Coach, I'm so excited for next year. I'm so excited for next year." Leon said, "That's great, Dylan, but we're still playing. We're focused on Nebraska." Sure enough, they turn around in the earliest exhibition game due to a new NCAA rules where you can play those type of games in front of your fans, and that equals a very short offseason, Brian.
Yeah, it's so short. And then you throw all the practices in there, and a lot of these teams are traveling overseas, and there is no off season anymore in college basketball.
They start practicing in late June now. That's very different from when you were playing.
Yeah, I mean, we typically got summers off, right? I mean, you had to be in the gym and working out, but there were no practices, no scheduled events.
Hawaii Pacific with the lead. If you're just now tuning in, Joshua West, 13 points, has really carried them offensively. Boise State still getting a feel for itself. West, a step back. He is cold-blooded.
Make that 16 for Joshua West. Holy smokes.
3 of 4 from outside, carrying the Sharks early. Dylan Andrews working on him. R.J. Keene, he's got the green light to shoot it this year. Andrews an extra feed. Peanut Carmichael. Missed the rim and a loose ball foul.
Boy, Broncos shooters kind of almost feeling like they have a little bit of pressure on them right now. Unusual shot by Carmichael for sure. Usually not going to get that result from him.
32% as a team last year from 3. The coaches said it was so encouraging that they were so high in the offensive efficiency metrics, even with their three-point shooting not exactly living up to capability.
Yeah, I think that's an area the Broncos just really have to improve on. They were 278th in the nation last year from the three-point line. That's as many great shots as their offense creates for them. They're going to have to raise that percentage a bunch.
A guy could help with that is Spencer Aarons. Don't be surprised by that. The coaches say they identify him as a stretch 4. He had a three-pointer against Idaho. Quentin McCullough going to work. Right at Andrew Meadow. What a backdoor find. What a fake. And Maj Dusanich lays it in all the way from Slovenia. Played on Todd Golden's NCAA tournament team in San Francisco.
Layups and threes for the Sharks. That's about it.
Andrews to Carmichael for 2. And you see the court vision there for Dylan Andrews on his second assist. 3.4 of those a game under Mick Cronin at UCLA. What answer does West have? He leaves it for a teammate. No dice, and Spencer Aarons, a big board. 6'10", 230 frame.
Look at the big fella. Rebound coast to coast. I like it.
Andrew Meadow. Off on his 3. Another rebound for Parolin. Little floater for Andrews, no. And a rebound for Quentin McCullough. Transfer from Purdue Northwest by way of McHenry County College. They too have been kind of a hodgepodge of transfers over the years. Brought back every possible player. They graduated a couple, but everybody who could come back is back for Coach Nakashini.
Yeah, and that's unusual, by the way, especially when you're playing on the island over there. I mean, everybody thinks that would be paradise, and I think it is a lot of the time. That's a tough place to play.
Andrew Meadow right to the rim and a timeout for Hawaii Pacific. Boise State back on top. Coach Nakashini managing the game like their tournament life is on the line. It's a 1-point spread in Boise. A really good crowd here in Boise, Idaho tonight. Brian King, this is something that you talked about quite a bit. Back when you were playing, you used to kind of have the hangover the football season, right? It would take around the turn in the calendar for people to come out to ExtraMile Arena. Leon Rice has talked about this a lot. He had his eyes on Boise State initially for what it could be because of what they had done as a football school in the mid-2000s. Slowly but surely, all the winning has led to better turnouts here in November and overall better basketball culture here in Idaho.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. And a really good crowd here tonight for a Monday night, right out of the game. Great crowd. They're just kind of sitting on their hands right now waiting for something to really get fired up about, but they will.
Our guy Nate there a moment ago is always fired up. Quentin McCullough into the paint working on Buchanan.
Boy.
And a nice finish from McCullough. Hawaii Pacific back on top.
Boy, Broncos need to guard better. Simple as that. That's maybe 6 layups now.
Still only gave up 67 points per game last year. Buchanan, no. And a rebound to Dusanich. Played for a national championship head coach in Todd Golden before Coach Golden's stop at Florida at San Francisco. Sarnash, no.
Time to run here. Let's push it.
A.G. Neto, foot on the gas. Carmichael. Drew Fielder off the catch. Right here in Idaho. He said he missed the simplicity of living right here in the Gem State when he was living in California and in Washington, D.C. 8 to shoot. A.G. Neto. Andrew Meadow. A reverse lay-in, and he'll go the free throw line. This is a lot of what we saw in the Idaho game, Brian. When Boise State couldn't find answers offensively, they got the ball to Meadow, and he found his way to the line.
Yeah, big body, can handle it, can finish strong at the rim. You know, a lot of those times you just want to go in and get fouled, right? Get yourself to the free throw line.
84% foul line shooter. Last year, Brian, he told us that he made 50,000 shots in a post-game interview. This year, he dialed it back to 30,000, okay? I guess, you know, much more pedestrian number, right? But he said the focus was, I'm curious your perspective as a shooter yourself, he focused less on the stand-and-shoot jump shots and more about the transition offense and getting more in a flow with the shooting and all the drills.
No, I think you have to do both, right? I mean, hopefully you want every shot you shoot to be the same. Another big bucket by the Sharks.
Now Sarnash the three there. Hawaii Pacific back on top. Off the catch and a foul on the Sharks indeed. They are over the limit. Boise State in the bonus for the final 6:35 of this first half. And J.B. Buchanan back to the free throw line. A 13-week recovery. After back and hip surgery last year, they said he was something that he needed to have done for a long time. All right, it's scary to think about what this player could be this year if he's 100% healthy.
Right, 100% agree. 100% agree.
9 points and 3 rebounds a game last year. That earned him Sixth Man of the Year honors in the Mountain West, and former NAIA All-American at Indiana Wesleyan. This guy could be one of the more decorated players in the country by the time he hangs it up. Quentin McCullough off the inbound. Avi Halpert all the way from Los Angeles. Running the point. All CIF second team in California. That is not easy to do.
No, it's not.
A lot of incredible athletes in that state. Hawaii Pacific with the lead. They go right at Dylan Andrews. What a find. What a finish. Niasulu for 2. The Sharks just won't go away in this first half. They got the lead.
No, little work to do for Boise State defensively.
Nearly throw it away. Andrew Meadow recovers.
Yeah, new players, new team, different system for a bunch of them. Takes a little time to learn.
Look out for Parolin off the pick and pop. A carry on Dylan Andrews and a rare turnover. As you can imagine, in Mick Cronin's offense, it was paramount to take care of the basketball. He did not turn it over very often. And a rare mistake for Boise State's transfer point guard.
Yeah, that might have just been an early season official kind of trying to teach him a lesson early on. Just, hey, make sure you don't do this when you're playing San Diego State in a big game.
Scott Brown, our head official, he refereed the Mountain West tournament last year in a game between Utah State and UNLV. Another triple try won't go, and a rebound for Boise State. They still have a dominant edge on the glass at 17-10.
Good idea if the Broncos just kind of keep this in the paint, go to your big fellas.
Meadow for the tie. No. Another big rebound for Parolin, and the stick back won't go. Boise State below 33% from the field.
Yeah, and a lot of these, like Parolin's right there. That was just an easy take one more drill and just power it up on the glass.
Kahio Boone is into the game for Hawaii Pacific.
Travel.
Now there's a turnover, a rare mistake from Jesse Nakashini's team. You think about the recipe to win this game for the Sharks, Brian, and low turnovers had to be high on that list, and that's exactly what they've accomplished so far in this first half.
Yeah, don't turn it over, knock down threes, don't give up threes.
And you need a player to get hot like West has if you're just now tuning in. 16 first-half points for Hawaii Pacific. He's on the bench right now.
Oh, he's just taking a 1-minute blow. Trust me, he will be right back in there.
Andrews working with Parolin. Aarons for the tie. You bet. Oh. Spencer Aarons, his second first-half three.
Well, he makes that three ball look very simple. And for the Broncos to turn it up a little bit here defensively.
Top 30 recruit in the nation as far as a forward. Committed to the Broncos over Gonzaga and Leon Rice's buddy Mark Few. Coach Rice, of course, coached under Coach Few prior to coming to Boise State.
5 on the clock.
A late heave. Sarnach, no. And that's the kind of defense that Coach Burns will be happy about when they look back at this one in film review.
Yeah, a little bit better for sure. Again, you play these exhibition games for a reason, and these kids have so much in their mind about everything they're learning. And do they hedge? Do they not hedge? Do they jump the pick? Do they not? And it's like sometimes it just takes a little while for them to just flow freely.
Silky smooth finish for Dylan Andrews. He's a scorer as well in his own right. Put up 7 a game at UCLA. And Coach Nakashini calls for another timeout. Hawaii Pacific hanging around. They're still shooting a scorching 50% from the field. Stick with us for the end of the first half. Well, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know a ton about Hawaii Pacific, the Division II challenger for the Boise State Broncos tonight. You see a little bit about their university there. Right, anytime you can win a national title, it doesn't matter what level it's at. You've got some degree of basketball success and culture, and clearly that's helped the Sharks tonight.
Yeah, clearly it has. I mean, this is a very good basketball team. They're well coached. They're very organized. They got a kid from Chicago who put 16 on the Broncos in the first half, and they have a tradition of winning.
You didn't want to give a crack there at the Hawaiian translation there at the bottom?
Oh, I didn't see that.
We'll give you a pass. Maybe next time.
Okay.
West distributing, and he finds his teammate, Niosulu, for 2. And the Sharks tie it up. It's 33-all. 3.5 minutes for Boise State. Trying to get some separation before the break. Led by as many as 16 in the exhibition win over Idaho. Andrews blows a tire. Mesa on the run. Right at Bowie. And Hawaii Pacific right back on top.
Really good play by Bone. Really good play.
We talked about the Idaho exhibition, Brian, quite a bit, but this is a Boise State team, too, that went and took it to Washington in Seattle in a close scrimmage. A win over a Big Ten school is nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not. Like I said, I think this team has a lot of upside. It just takes a little time, right? That's why we play these exhibition games. We're trying to figure out which players fit in which spots and when they fit in those spots. And you can tell they're just a little uncomfortable right now.
Well, Hawaii Pacific has given them every reason to be uncomfortable. Give the Sharks a lot of credit. West finally with a miss. And Boise State pulls away the rebound.
I love when Aarons gets a rebound and just takes off. That's fantastic.
He's been a highlight of this first half for Bronco fans. Boise State trying to regain the lead.
You can tell Dylan Anderson just wants to kind of be unleashed, right? He just wants to go make a play.
Now Parolin to Bowie. Idaho native. Parolin. They knocked down a couple of those in the exhibition win over Idaho.
But good defensive possession by the Sharks. Boxed out nice. Defended everything well.
They've got a chance to take the lead. They get a 4th foul on Boise State in this first half. Dylan Andrews picks up his first. If you're looking for things to be happy about, Brian, in this first half, if you're a Bronco fan, clearly with the low number of fouls, Boise State's defense has done a really nice job of guarding without foul.
They are guarding without fouls. I think I'd rather have a foul than give up the 6 layups that we've given up.
Sure. The Utah native and the transfer from Idaho State, Quentin Mesa, in the offense. Niosulu all the way from Georgia. They've got guys from all over the place, as you can imagine. You can recruit to Hawaii if you get the right guy.
Boy, that's right. There's always somebody willing to take a look at that.
Aarons a look at the rim. R.J. Keene the rebound. Oh, he picks up his dribble. A.G. Neto. Hard to the 10 and a 2-hand finish.
Boy, like Neto a lot of confidence.
He said he defends the point of attack and helps us accomplish guards when they don't touch the paint. Coaching staff raves about what Neto's done in fall camp. A transition three, Neo Sulu from distance. With MVP in his Olo college stop.
Yeah, dribble penetration is just really hurting the Broncos.
Every box checked for Hawaii Pacific in this first half. Can they take a halftime lead? Bowie, a no-look dime. Parolin had it tipped away. Keene sticks with it. No foul call there on Parolin. And Hawaii Pacific looking to stretch its lead before the end of the first half. Mesa on Bowie. Transfer from Wofford by way of Idaho State. And another rebound for Spencer Aarons. Shot clock is dark. Boise State can hold for the last shot, try to take a lead into the locker room. And Leon Rice will head to the clipboard for the first time this year. Got to get the coaches some practice, too. Dialing up some ATOs.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Good timeout by Coach Rice. They're going to work on some plays here. And I can tell Hawaii Pacific, this is a real basketball game for them. I mean, they're playing with speed and tenacity, and fundamentally they are perfect right now. Like, they are taking it at the Broncos. On the other side, Boise State kind of looks like they're just trying to figure it out a little bit.
You see a look there at the Boise State huddle. How about this staff, Brian? David Mose goes off to Virginia Tech, but the Broncos add in a guy you know well, Kobe Carl and A.J. Few, son of Mark Few. We're talking about that Gonzaga connection. Of course, the guys you know, like that man on your screen, Tim Durrier is back to coordinate the offense. Mike Burns for the defense. Got, of course, legend Roberto Bergerson there on the left side of your screen. Lex Williams steps into that fourth assistant chair. What a deep staff for Leon Rice.
Well, they really do. I think it's as good as any in the country. I really do. I mean, they are deep and knowledgeable and experienced. I mean, this is a really nice mix of a veteran staff with youth underneath them, and you need that to relate to the players, right? Roberto Bergerson, player development, and Lexus, player development, and of course you had Kobe Carl to the mix. He's got 6 years of NBA experience and was a great player here at Boise State. He played for the Lakers and the Sixers, and I mean, it's a wonderful staff, and they have a wonderful roster this year, and it's going to take a little time for them to get this thing put together the right way.
Matty Richardson, the Broncos trainer, town out the floor there. Pretty cool look at that with the corral in the background. Again, another great student turnout. Oh, by the way, you're talking about Kobe Carl, and the son of George Carl, of course, one of the best NBA coaches of all time, in top 10 in the NBA in wins. That can't hurt to have that insight as well. A couple phone calls away in Boise State's program.
Yeah, and I think that's right. And Garrett, I think you'll see a lot of college teams this year or last year starting. They've added NBA coaches to their staff. You look at BYU and you look at Utah. Both head coaches are former NBA guys, and in the world of the NIL and kids wanting to get to the next level, that connection to the NBA, I think, is proving to be super important. Kobe adds that for Boise State.
A coach for the Philadelphia 76ers, now coaching in Boise. And J.V. Buchanan set to sub in at the next dead ball. What do you want to see for the Broncos here in the final 20 seconds of this first half?
I was just going to ask you the same thing. I was really curious to see what Leon's going to draw up here. If he's going to work the clock down, is he going to try to get one quick? My guess is they're going to run a long set, and they'll probably go at the rim with maybe 3 to 4 seconds left.
Quiet first half for Drew Fielder. He's only got 2 points, no field goal attempts. Maybe look for him to generate his first shot here at the end of the first.
Yeah, Fielder needs to get more touches, for sure. Buchanan needs to get more touches, closer to the basket. It's one thing that hasn't really been utilized or has been a focus. You see Hawaii Pacific comes out with a zone. Going to mix it up a little bit.
Jesse Nakashini pulling out all the stops tonight.
I love it. He's coaching them up. Oh, that was a good play. High post feed.
Buchanan isolates. Can't finish a rough first half for J.B. Buchanan. Just 4 points. He's 0-4 from the field. Joshua West nearly bookended a perfect first half for him with a half-court buzzer beater. A developing story tonight in Boise, Idaho. The Hawaii Pacific Sharks come to Boise and take a halftime lead over team picked to finish top 3 in the Mountain West. Back with more on the Mountain West Network. Crowd being entertained here at halftime. If you're just now tuning in, Hawaii Pacific punching up from the Division II weight class. A fantastic performance for them tonight. A 1-point lead over Boise State. Garrett Jones and Brian King saying hello to you at the break. And Brian, when we break it down, an incredible first half for Hawaii Pacific. They had a lot of things go right. Specifically, their work in the paint helped them separate from Boise State.
Yeah, Hawaii Pacific came to play, right? This does not feel like an exhibition game to them. This is a mid-season game. They are playing hard. They are well coached. Boise State gave up a lot of layups. Hawaii Pacific just made it look simple. Dribble, drive, pass. Dribble, drive, pass. Dribble, drive, finish. Not a typical Boise State defensive effort that you would see.
You see the penetration there. A really nice feed from McCullough. Their passing has been on point. They barely turned the basketball over, too, but they are outscoring Boise State 20-14 in the paint this evening. It's just been highlight reel pass after highlight reel pass. You see West there with 16 first half point. He's not afraid to give it up. And on the other side for Boise State, if you're looking for something positive, they've at least gotten some production from their bench tonight. We wanted to see how the true freshmen and the new players, of course, the transfers would mesh. And the bench has at least been somewhat productive for Coach Rice's group through the first frame.
Yeah, they really have, and it's really good to see the new players, and they almost feel like they're a little more comfortable than maybe the 5 who started the game. They look a little uncomfortable right now. Good production off the bench. Boise State will come out the second half. They will play with a little more tenacity, a little more focus, a little more speed. I'd like to see Buchanan get a little more involved and Fielder get a little more involved.
You love the form there from Spencer Aarons. And again, the bench has been the boost. Broncos outscoring Hawaii Pacific 16-3. It makes a little more sense when you think about Coach Nakashima wanting to play his best 5 and try to engage Boise State as best as it can in a Division I challenge for this group tonight. They've been the ones who have been the challengers. A 1-point lead for the Sharks at the break. We're back with more in just a sec. Well, welcome back to Boise. It's certainly been an interesting first half. Both teams doing some good things offensively. They combined 76 points between these two. Let's take a look here at our halftime numbers. And the Sharks, like we said, execute, I should say, their game plan to a T. 48.5% field goals. You have to think that Mike Burns is red in the face in Boise State's locker room, the Broncos defensive coordinator of sorts. Both teams struggling from the three-point line. Coach Lexus Williams told us this week that they really pride themselves on being able to take the three-pointer away. He said he noticed that Hawaii Pacific made 9 per game when they win, 3 to 6 per contest when they lose. And they were trying to slow them down. So far, Brian King, the Broncos winning the battle on the board. They're taking care of the basketball pretty well. It's just been a scorching hot shooting performance from the Sharks. That's been the boost.
It's been, yeah, scorching hot for sure, but getting really easy looks, right? Those are just not the looks you should be getting against a great Boise State defensive basketball team, which they traditionally have been.
And they really pride themselves on their defense. What's the biggest thing you want to see change in that regard in the second half?
It's dribble penetration, right? Again, you can penetrate and get to the rim. That's one thing. But when you're penetrating and you're able to dish it to the next guy in line, either a kick to the corner for a 3 or a guy cutting down the middle, that's just defensive breakdown.
And if you're in that Hawaii Pacific locker room, you know eventually the Broncos Division I size and athleticism is going to play a factor in this 1-point game in the second half. What do you counter with if you're Coach Nakashima?
Well, I think you're going to continue to do what you do, right? I mean, they don't have a lot of other options. They played a really great first half, and if you're Boise State, you're probably going to take advantage of your size. Hawaii Pacific may go zone a little bit to kind of counter that. Boise State, it really just looks like they're playing very methodical and very slow. They need to pick up the tempo.
That's a great point by you. We did see the Sharks come out in zone defense when Boise State had a half-court look out of a timeout as well. Sharks getting their first shot at Boise State. And a Division I opponent this season. They've got a lot of challenging league games coming up. A lot of travel for this group. This would be a signature result for them if it can hold in the first half. Boise State, meanwhile, trying to flip the script and make their home crowd happy after what's been a restless weekend here in Boise. I know they would love nothing more than to see some energetic dunks and three-pointers and ultimately get fired up for the second half. Just a 1-point game at the break. We'll be back with more in just a second. Halftime in Boise, Hawaii Pacific with a 1-point lead. This, of course, just the start of a very engaging non-league slate for the Boise State Broncos. Several interesting games coming up, Brian. You take a look at this non-league schedule. What do you like the most about what the Broncos have coming up over the next couple months?
I think it's a really interesting schedule for the Bronco fans and for the Boise State basketball team, right? They have a chance to get some quality wins, both at home and on the road. But they've got enough games kind of filtered in there as well where they can try some different things, and like tonight, experience some different things. Of course, Grand Canyon, new addition to the conference and a great basketball team. They were looking at the conference schedule right there, but I believe we have Wichita State early. We go on the road to Butler, I believe. I think it's a great schedule for the Broncos.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I had that mixed up myself. Of course, you take a look there at the league slate for Boise State. Grand Canyon, Brian mentioned a new addition to the league, but the Mountain West loaded again. It's going to be a gauntlet, especially in those first 4 games. On the other side, Hawaii Pacific, like we said, this is a big opportunity for them to get a shot at a Division I team. How do you think that they can build off this, no matter what they face in the Pac West coming this year?
Well, again, a great first half. Clearly, they are very well coached. They have a marquee player as well. Lights us up for 16 in the first half. They've kept it really simple. Dribble, drive, pass, set screens, defend, go to the boards and get a rebound, and don't turn it over. And I think that's what you build on, is to keep it simple.
You got a trip to Alaska. I'm sure you would love to go up there and hunt a little bit if you could. Maybe fish some of those streams.
I've been there, done that. It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Love it, love it. They're at Hawaii as well. That should be interesting. We're back with the start of the second half in just a moment. I'm back with you in Boise. The Broncos breaking the huddle, looking to get a little bit of separation in this game against a D2 opponent in the Hawaii Pacific Sharks. Garrett Jones, Brian King here with you and our entire crew. We talked about this a little in the first half, Brian, but this is a great crowd on a Monday night. They're looking for a good time. What is it that Boise State can do to bring them to their feet, bring it to life in this second frame?
Yeah, more energy. Pick up the tempo, make some defensive plays, get on the floor, get a rebound, outlet it, let Dylan Anderson push the ball up the court. This crowd is a really nice crowd for a Monday night, and they are anxious to get excited about something. Really? We will see a different Boise State team in the second half. My guess is there was a little bit of chatter at halftime. There was a spirited conversation at halftime, I would guess.
With the personalities in that locker room, I don't think there's any question.
Oh.
Buchanan and Dylan Andrews, we are underway in the second 20. Glad that you're with us. Enjoy it on a Monday night. Start of the week here in Boise. A UCLA transfer, Dylan Andrews for Drew Fielder. Off the mark, he had a great exhibition game, 24 points and 8 rebounds against the Idaho Vandals, who are picked to win their league.
Are they really? I was impressed with the Vandals. Yeah, I was very impressed by Idaho.
Basketball in this state at the collegiate level has just come such a long way over the past several years. Hawaii Pacific on the attack. More of the same for Joshua West, an 18-point game at a Division I opponent.
Boy, good. Just good execution.
Carmichael can't get it to drop for the tie. Boise State is just 4 of 17 from outside. West chisels away. And his first miss of the second half.
Boy, better tempo for Boise State is what we'd like to see early.
Andrews, Fielder, get used to that this season.
Boy, more of that. Take advantage of your size. Hit the 3 on the kickouts.
Broncos said they were going to play more 5-out this year. They had one of the best 2-man games in the country with Cardenas and Dagenhart. They want to see less of that this year, but when they're in a spot like tonight, might see it in 2025. Good idea there for Andrews. Couldn't quite execute. Sharks right to the 10, right down Main Street, an easy lay-in for Dusanich.
We talked about eliminating the easy buckets, the lay-ins, and the Sharks have 2 right out of the gate.
3-point game. Pearson Carmichael. Andrews for the tie. Book it. Boise State's big 3 of the night.
Better tempo offensively, a little more purpose to it. And we need to see it defensively.
Yeah,
he needs some effort.
Right, he adds that element as well. He's 33% from outside at UCLA. All-region first team, Quentin McCullough at his last stop. Deep triple, Mesa, NBA range, string it up.
The ball was turning sideways in the air. Great shot.
6 of 17 from outside is Hawaii Pacific. Buchanan, no. Everything's been off for Javen, 0-5 from the field. And now Hawaii Pacific looking to extend the lead.
But now you have to really guard them because they're not afraid to launch from anywhere.
Leon Rice incensed Hawaii Pacific. If you thought they were a first-half fluke, they are telling you otherwise. A 5-point lead in Boise. Well, when Joshua West was growing up in Chicago shooting hoops in the driveway impersonating Michael Jordan, you have to think that he was thinking about the opportunity that he would get to play a Division I school, Brian, and play at a level like this. He has risen to the occasion, to say the least, tonight.
Well, West can really play, right? He just plays with a lot of confidence, and when he touches the ball, he thinks it's his job to score. And he's doing that tonight.
When you think about some of the ingredients it takes to pull an upset, you need an elite shooting night. The Sharks have done that. You need good enough defense, and you really need a key individual performer. West could be that guy if they're looking to pull the upset tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you have to take care of the basketball. Hawaii Pacific has done that. Now they come out in the zone, mixing it up a little bit.
Andrew Meadow, no. Rebound hits the deck. Their fielder sprawling for it. A loose ball. And it was touched on the baseline by the Sharks.
Garrett, that's the great thing about basketball is any team can kind of beat any team on a given night. You know, you're not going to see Montana State beat Michigan, right? Like that's rarely ever going to happen in football. But in basketball, that can happen.
A.G. Neto and Drew Fielder.
Big fella should touch the ball often in the second half.
Little pop shot. Andrews, no. Boise State's had some good look at the rims from that range. They just haven't been able to convert. It's starting to just turn into one of those nights where really nothing's falling despite some good looks.
Yeah, they've had good looks both inside and outside. They've gotten to the rim a number of times. They're just not knocking it down.
Neto triple, no. The Broncos 5 of 19 from deep. Just 28%, 35% from the field. And Quentin Mesa, like we said, former Gatorade Player of the Year at Utah in high school. Goes right to the 10, misses inside. Broncos pull down a rebound.
Boy, Broncos really fortunate on that possession not to give up another one. Like the push here.
Dylan Andrews hangs and scores. Broncos back within a bucket.
Broncos need to play faster. Take advantage of your size, speed, athleticism. Play faster.
8 points and 3 boards for Andrews.
Broncos look like they want to push baseline.
Iasulu. Out to McCollum. The defense tightening for Boise State. Mesa with 5 to shoot. Gonna have to be Niasulu going right at Meadow. And a fantastic possession there in the half for Boise State defensively.
When it's got to be that every time down, Garrett. It's like the Broncos are kind of waiting for somebody else to dictate what they're going to do.
A 3-point game with 15:39 left. Leo Rice said when he left Yakima Community College, his prior stop to Gonzaga, he would never miss rebuilding his roster every single year. You flash forward 25 years, Brian, that is all that college basketball is, and sometimes a byproduct of reshuffling that roster every year. You got to figure things out on the fly. How much of that is factored tonight for Boise State?
Yeah, I think quite a bit, actually. We were just talking during the break that, you know, you bring these new guys in, and they're kind of, they don't want to step on the old guys' toes. The old guys are kind of thinking, well, you're the new guys, you know, go ahead and take over. And it just takes a while for somebody to step up and realize they're the wolf, right? Like, who's the wolf on this team who is just going to take over?
The Wolf from last year is playing on the Toronto Raptors G League affiliate right now. Broncos will somehow try to undergo the task of replacing their all-time leading scorer in Tyson Degenhart. Ton of talent on the roster this year. Somebody needs to step up tonight. Who will it be? Drew Fielder trying to prove that he can be that guy.
Well, great penetration by Neto as well to make that basket happen. But now we need to see defensive output from the Broncos.
Lex Williams said that he's a 3-level guy. You see him scoring there in the first level right at the 10. Boise State needs a stop and a bucket for the lead. Mesa proving that he can thrive in the gym state. The Idaho State transfer with a bucket.
Well, again, you got to guard these kids on every spot because they're capable. They have no fear, and they kind of don't care right now.
Buchanan, another miss. Reigning 6th man of the year in the Mountain West. 0 for 6 from the field. Joshua West, transfer from Dominican University. He has been the playmaker tonight.
Shot clock at 5.
Marcola with late shot clock. Right at Meadow. Great interior defense there by Andrew Meadow.
Good opportunity to run here for the Broncos.
Andrew Meadow takes the contact, and like we said in the first half, when all else fails, give it to Andrew Meadow. He could be the guy who's like Degenhart last year, going downhill and getting to the stripe often.
Yeah, that's right. And when you're physical and strong like Meadow is and like Fielder is, you're at least going to draw a couple free throws out of this thing, and that's a good possession.
84% free throw shooter from Santa Clarita, California. He said last year was cool and all, and very Andrew Meadow nonchalant voice and style. I'll let you use your imagination there. But he said the second he stepped off the court against Nebraska on April 5th, he was thinking about tonight, opening night against Hawaii Pacific, and starting his junior year.
Well, great career already for Meadows at Boise State, but bigger things to come, I believe, from him.
Makes it a 2-point game here. When Mesa started his career at Wofford, a very good program in the SoCon. A third stop for him in his college basketball journey. Boise State trying to pickpocket. West will get to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Again, big, strong kid, determined, was not going to be denied, and getting to the free throw line is a big deal.
As coaches said that he brings the competitive edge and a high basketball IQ to the backcourt, and he has exhibited that tonight, shooting toward the corral for the first time tonight, and he gets a fortuitous bounce off the front of the rim. A game high 19 points now for West, showing he can score in a variety of ways. One out of 2. And a rebound for Boise State. They are still dominating the glass, outboarding Hawaii Pacific by 10. Their shots have not fallen. Looking to tie or bring it within 1. Whistle on the Sharks defensively.
Broncos trying to get it to Fielder in that offensive set. I think a good idea. Use your size, take advantage, get something at the backboard, go back and play defense.
Spencer Aaron's into the ball game. If you're a Boise State fan just now tuning in, a strong first half for him, 6 points and 3 rebounds.
Boy, really good looking freshman.
One of a couple Canadians on this roster. Look at the ball movement. Aaron's for the tie. The true freshman steps up.
A lot of confidence again. He just keeps it real simple. He's open, jumps up and knocks it down, not thinking about anything else but making the right play.
Let's see if that gets the corral into it.
Kind of first time we've heard the crowd tonight. They've been waiting.
Halpert gives it up. First time tonight we've said Zane Cole's name, and he misses from distance. Broncos looking to take the lead. And a foul before Fielder finds separation. You have have to think for this crowd, Brian, it almost feels like a Mountain West matchup against New Mexico or San Diego State, right? You know, you might see the Broncos go down at the half. Of course, they're competitive, and then they eventually work their way into it in the second half. But you wouldn't expect that when they're taking on a D2 opponent tonight, would you?
You wouldn't expect it, but again, a really good turnout tonight, and they are just waiting to get excited for the Broncos.
Andrew Meadow.
Oh.
Another turnover. 7th of the night for the blue and orange. Transition three. Halpert, no. But he is fouled, and he'll have 3 free throws coming.
Yeah, good call. Bad play by Fielder. Bad choice.
That is the team's second. Fielder just picked up his first. Nobody in foul trouble, which is a relief for Boise State. But they do send Halpert to the line for 3. Another guy who the coaching staff identified as a contributor in shoot-around this morning.
Again, Garrett, nobody in foul trouble for Boise State, but you can kind of take a look at that on the other side and say, nobody's fouling anybody. Like, nobody's being aggressive enough to actually go up and challenge anybody.
Mike Burns, his 10th season on Leon Rice's staff, really helps with the defense. And you know he would say the same thing to his guys, likely has in the locker room. And Halpert to the free throw line, trying to make good on 3 of 3. Hawaii Pacific 3 at 9 last year away from home. They have thrived in a road environment.
Boy, that's a real road trip right there, Garrett.
Yep.
I mean, holy smokes.
Might have a little bit more on that later, but they will cross the Pacific 5 different times this year. 3 of those come within conference play going to California.
Well, that's good frequent flyer miles for these kids.
Yeah, A.G. Neto's not going to get away with that. Nearly turned it over, had to retreat, and shoved his defender off in the process. That will be a teachable moment for the true freshman when Boise State pops in this film.
Yeah, teachable moment number 1, take care of the basketball, right? Number 2, don't compound it with a foul.
Played for the NBA Academy and the Angola national team. They don't let just anybody on those national teams. He's got an
really talented player. Like, big things ahead for him.
R.J. King nearly ran into an official. And an inbound for Hawaii Pacific.
Well, you don't really see any talk amongst the Broncos. You don't see a lot of chatter amongst them.
West again. He breaks the 20-point mark. He's got 21 tonight. Kane in transition. RJ makes it a 3-point game. Trying to supply some of that grit defensively.
They say basketball is a game of runs, and there just has not really been any tonight. It's been, again, very consistent. Another bucket. Oh,
West with a rare miss right on the doorstep in Boise State fields. Big time break for the Broncos. Can they cash in? A.G. Neto says yes. The hoop and the horn for the true freshman. This guy is off the floor like a bolt of lightning. The coach is raving about what he can be. Boise State with a chance to top. Alluded to this. It's going to be a long way to go for Hawaii Pacific. 26,000 approximate miles for them to get 5 different trips across the Pacific. I asked Jesse Nakashini this morning at shoot around, you guys do anything differently? What do you do to entertain yourself on the flight? And of course, as a true coach, he said, we watch game film.
Yeah. Well, and the kids are probably supposed to be studying on those flights. I guarantee they have Netflix loaded up.
You got to keep them sane somehow, Brian. It's a long season.
It's a long season. That's a lot of time on an airplane for sure.
A.G. Neto to the strike. Had a really good game against Idaho, but 9 points, 3 assists, but he ultimately turned the ball over 3 times, actually fouled 6 times. They let the players play without fouling out in that game, just since it was an exhibition, but they didn't tell them that. It was kind of a funny moment where AG fouled out. He started heading toward the bench, and Leon said, no, stay out there. Stay out there. He said, Coach, I fouled out. He said, no, stay out there. You're good.
You're good. I love that.
Crowd into it. It's a tie game. 11:20 left to go. Quentin Mesa gives it up. Sarnach, no. An offensive rebound. And a foul. You just can't have that right now if you're Boise State trying to salt this team away.
Yeah, really good set by Hawaii Pacific that time. They set it up for 3, got a good look at it, but that's obviously the time you really got to go get a body on somebody and box out.
And Quentin McCullough, to his credit, to the free throw line. Another player from Illinois, like we said, they're from all over the country. So much to the point of that graphic, they are racking up those frequent flyer miles.
But what a great experience for these kids as well, right?
Yep.
I mean, they will be seasoned veterans and travelers and will have seen the world. And, of course, they're living on the beach and the weather's perfect. And it's just a great experience for them.
It's an advantage, too, when they play their home games, too, because the team's traveling from California, the Pac-West, to play them. They've got that giant air hanging over their trip, right, of fatigue and moving time zones. And you have to think that they're more used to it at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Probably picking up sunburns the day before the games and advantage to the Sharks.
Andrews, the lob and the jam. Spencer Aarons, an exclamation point.
What a great play set up by Duryea. Coach Duryea, great execution. Maybe that will light a fire for Boise State.
Play of the night. Crowd's been begging for something like that all evening long. Andrews can't outlet the basketball. It'll belong to Hawaii Pacific. And Boise State, Brian, has had a couple instances of that tonight. No such instance on this play.
Boy,
Spencer Aarons showing that 6'10" frame.
Good look, and freshman. A lot of confidence tonight. And a great pass by Andrews.
Into Mesa. Andrews tightly guarding him. Sarnach picks up his dribble. What a find. McCullough. Right around Aarons. And Hawaii Pacific regains the lead. Ten minutes left. This game has been just about as entertaining as you could have possibly asked for. Dominic Parolin into the basketball game.
Give it back. Yep.
Aarons. What a tip by R.J. King. That's what he does. Dylan Andrews showing you what he does.
Smooth play by Andrews.
Working on a double-double. He's got 12 and 7.
Boy, that's a quiet 12, too.
Little cat and mouse game there between R.J. Keene and Quentin McCullough. If that doesn't embody who R.J. Keene is as a player, I don't know what does.
I think he was trying to bait him into, kind of not going for the ball. He was going to kind of dive in there and scoop it up. But
I know you're a big football guy. That's like on a punt where the returner doesn't field it and try to fake the other team into touching it and downing the ball. Where
exactly what it was, yeah.
Tied at 60. Boise State looking for a lead. R.J. Keene. Couldn't find the rim. Out of bounds off Hawaii Pacific. A little extra life there for the Boise State Broncos. 9
on the shot clock. I'd love to see that ball just get a post touch. Quick post touch. Good things happen. The ball goes inside.
Keene came to Boise State as a shooter, by the way. Coach Rice and RJ have both said, yeah, we agree. He's got the green light to shoot in those situations. You would see him last year pass up shots at 2 feet. He was just such a distributor and a rebounder. He's looking to take on more of a scoring role this year. Dylan Andrews at 3. Spencer Aarons, a fading 3. This guy's got everything in the bag.
Holy smoke. Number 16 out there is playing with a lot of confidence. He's going to make a name for himself in this town real quick.
Top 30 forward recruit in the ESPN 100.
But Hawaii Pacific does a really nice job passing the basketball.
Bronco Nation gets the assist there. Loudest ExtraMile Arena has been all night long. And they force a turnover. Jesse Nakashini and his team finally blinking, showing a weakness tonight. And Boise State has been able to cash in with 9:02 left. What, if anything, Brian, changed for Boise State in that stretch in which they were ultimately able to grab the lead?
But they just looked like they just took it from on a line of 1 to 10 speed-wise. They've kind of been playing at about a 5 all game, and they just have kind of taken it to a 7 to 8. Nothing near what I think this team is capable of, but energy, effort, purpose has been better the last 5 minutes.
Such a good offensive team a year ago. Bronco Nation was doing a lot of that last year, especially the young fans energized by what they did here at ExtraMile Arena. Of course, a very good team on their home floor. Even on Western night tonight, trying to bring the advantage. What's the message right now with that Boise State huddle?
Energy. Defensively, they've been better. You got to fly around. And it's really interesting. If you get one guy on the team to do it, it's contagious. Everybody else will do it. The first half, again, there were no Wolves. They just kind of, everybody sat back looking at each other. The second half, Aarons has stepped up and all of a sudden brought some energy, made some big plays. That is contagious.
Boise State outscoring Hawaii Pacific 26-22. Coach Jesse Nakashini on the other side was talking with him this morning, and he said, yeah, we got nothing to lose. We're going up against a top 28 team in KenPom. And I said, Coach, they're 43. And he said, oh, good. Okay, that makes you feel a little bit better.
That makes a difference.
But just a compliment right to what Boise State has become, that he assumed that the Broncos were in that top 25 range. They, of course, are receiving votes in the AP poll.
Right. And I think talented enough to deserve that as well. Listen, Hawaii Pacific has just come in here and just played really, really well with a lot of energy.
Aarons around the horn for A.G. Neto. Spencer leading the Broncos with 14 points. Gives it up. Andrews. Selfless basketball there for Boise State, but it doesn't lead to the bucket.
Yeah, great possession. And defensively, again, for Hawaii, good effort. Very fundamental. Solid box outs. No chances for offensive rebounds.
It's interesting. It seems like the Sharks are trying to test Spencer Aarons defensively. What do you see in his game at that end of the floor thus far?
Boy, that's a really good point. Offensively, obviously, he's kind of been a juggernaut right now. No fear at all for him. I don't have a great answer for you now yet, Garrett.
I stumped Brian King.
I'm going to have to pay a little bit more attention to you.
I'm going to have to put that one on the portfolio. Stumping BK, the great basketball mind.
Well, it's game one. It's game one.
That, you're right.
I'm a rusty.
It's been a couple months. Bobby Halpert at the line. Hawaii Pacific 9 of 10 at the stripe tonight. He is 4 for 4. And he hasn't missed.
But they have just played solid, fundamentals, tough basketball. No turnovers. Knock down your free throws. Finish at the rim. Very consistent.
Boise State holding on to that 1-point lead. Another turnover. Drew Fielder throws it away. Only the 9th of the night for Boise State. They averaged 11 a game last year. Hawaii Pacific regains the lead, and the bench erupts. Halpert for 2. And the Sharks back up by 1. R.J. Keene in the corner. Fielder, what a finish. Boise State seesaws on top.
Boy, good dish by Keene. Again, now you have to follow it up with a great defensive possession.
Poked from behind by Boise State, and that will take us to the under 8. Who'd have thunk it? A 1-point game with 7:44 left. Spencer Aarons igniting Boise State at the rim and beyond the 3-point line. Back with more. Well, this place has come a long way since you were playing here, Brian. 17 straight wins against non-conference opponents. Very good home court environment. 13-2 last year in this building.
Yeah, this is just really a great basketball arena. Has been for many, many years. I would argue it's as good as any on the West Coast, and I've been to most of them. The fans here are fantastic. The facility is pristine and beautiful. It's a great place for college basketball.
Every time Boise State has mounted a lead, Hawaii Pacific has had an answer. Josh Niasulu out of the timeout gives Hawaii Pacific another advantage.
Yeah, Garrett, they just get good shots and they knock them down.
Fielder off a pass fake. Dylan Andrews for the lead. Yes! Back and forth they go. Boise State back on top thanks to Dylan Andrews.
And again, follow it up, Broncos, with a good defensive possession.
Halpert, a heat check. No. Coach Nakashini not going to be pleased with that one.
Boy, he's done such a great job with his team.
He absolutely has. Third season, City really feels like they've established a culture that is enviable within their league. They're going to compete in the Pac West. We can tell you that for sure. Foul on the floor against the Sharks.
Good call. Love to see more touches for Fielder underneath. Big body, very experienced player. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities tonight.
As number 5 on the Sharks. Keep an eye on that number. The first team to get to the bonus could get a boost here late with how physical this game has been in the second half. Coach Rice hoping his group can separate here late. David Buchanan trying to get going. No field goals for him tonight. Just 4 points. This is what he was so good at last year. Extra ball movement. Meadow a 3. No. And the rebound snatched away by the Sharks. They can take the lead on this possession with 6.5 left. McCullough back to the basket. Drives right at Buchanan. And Niasulu is fouled. Like Spencer Aarons, the Sharks have attacked Javen Buchanan defensively as well, going right up the gut. And Buchanan struggling for answers here as you get one more look at this play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it doesn't, the Broncos are kind of looks like it's man on man, right? It's one guy. There's not a lot of help. You see Meadows battling himself. Not a lot you can do if nobody's going to come help.
McCullough a finish. Hawaii Pacific takes the lead in transition. Javen Buchanan for 2.
Yeah, great pass, great finish. Kind of a gutsy pass right there with a 1-point basketball game. But again, can the Broncos follow it up defensively?
Mesa working on Andrews. McCullough 13 on 13. He's had the ball for most of the second half. Niasulu with 8 to shoot. Mesa want to move. Can't hit. Andrew Fielder clears the board. Andrew Meadow 1 on 2. No fear. And he can't finish. That's been the microcosm of the night for Boise State.
It really has. Really has. Not a lot of breaks have gone their way, but, they just haven't finished plays.
44% from the field, just 31% from outside. They've heated up a little more in the second half. Boise State shooting 52% from the field in the second frame, 36% from outside. Hawaii Pacific, meanwhile, 53 and 50. McCullough gives it up. Mesa to beat the shot clock buzzer, and he can't. And another good half-court stand for Boise State defensively. That's when their defense has been at its best tonight.
Yeah, much better the second half, but Hawaii Pacific not going away either. The Broncos need to put possessions back to back to back.
In some regard, we should have seen this coming last year against a team that will be in the Mountain West next year, Hawaii. Sharks went to their arena, the Stan Sheriff Center, and gave them a heart attack. It was 67-63 as the horn sounded.
Well, this is a good basketball team. Again, very well coached, very fundamental.
Broncos turn it over. That is their 10th. Halpert on the move. He's had a couple big buckets in this second half. They find space. Halpert tucks it in. Sharks back on top. A 1-point lead.
For the Sharks, they're playing freely.
Fielder for the lead. What a headsy play. Quentin Mays has played a lot of basketball. You saw it there as he knocks that one out of bounds off of Andrew Meadow.
Yeah, the Sharks, again, they're playing like this is the national championship. I mean, every possession is desperation on their part.
West Valley Cypress High School in Utah. He was the State's Mr. Basketball. Was Quentin Mesa. 12 points versus High Point in his second career game at Wofford. That was some high-level basketball. Niasulu driving on Fielder. Mesa. What a shot. A multi-possession lead for Hawaii Pacific with 3.5 left.
Good play. Good entry.
4-alarm upset alert at ExtraMile Arena. There was no line on this game. Boise State with its back against the wall tonight against the Sharks. Can the Broncos figure it out in the Final Four? Well, these two teams have one thing in common. They will both be headed to Hawaii at some point this year. The Boise State Broncos playing in the Valley Invitational. Talked about this, Brian. So many landmarks for this program. Can you imagine maybe a couple decades ago saying Boise State was one day going to be included in that prestigious tournament?
Yeah, it never would have happened. And, you know, credit to Coach Rice and his staff for getting the invitation to Maui. I mean, this is a big-time, historical, great basketball tournament. I guarantee Coach Rice is not thinking about that right now. He's thinking about the next 3 minutes and 38 seconds. But a great opportunity for this program and for these players to play in that tournament.
Well, backs against the wall. Boise State trying to avoid what will be a Herculean upset for the Hawaii Pacific Sharks. Andrews pushed off. And the Boise State crowd is livid. Leon Rice is basically at center court, expressing his displeasure with that whistle. And the Broncos back on the defensive end. Here's a look for yourself.
Boy, that was a little touchy. That was a little touchy for sure.
Oh, Leon Rice at the free throw line right now. Let's see what the call is here. Now they're awarding a timeout to Boise State, it would appear.
Yeah, Broncos called timeout. That gives Leon the right to kind of head out on the court. And he is notorious for that. He's going to give it to him. But, hey, next play, right? You're down 4, 3:31 to go. It's next play.
One timeout left for the Broncos. None for Hawaii Pacific. That could play an impact down the stretch. And Boise State has played well at times tonight. They averaged 76 points per game a year ago. Looks like they're going to eclipse that tonight. The problem, Brian, for Bronco fans just tuning into this potential upset, the defense just has given Hawaii Pacific almost anything that it could ask for, especially here trying to pull a Division I upset on the road.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Defensively, the Broncos just have not been very tenacious at all, very passive. Hawaii Pacific, to their credit, has knocked down and taken advantage of the opportunities that the Broncos have given them.
Well, you talk about something that would let all the air out of ExtraMile Arena as the Bluebirds fly. Sharks looking for another bucket. Make it potentially a 3-possession game. Niasulu, a miss. Aaron's the rebound.
Boy, great block, great rebound. Again, who's going to take charge for Boise State?
A turnover. Andrews tosses it away. Up ahead, Mesa, and one. An incredible lay-in. And an opportunity to make it a 7-point game for the Sharks.
Boy, Mesa having the game of his life and having fun doing it.
A.G. Neto just picked up his 4th. That is the team's 8th. And the Sharks in the bonus for the rest of the game. Mesa gets the roll, and now it's a 7-point lead. This is no fluke. A 7-0 run for Hawaii Pacific. They have led this game for 24 minutes and 14 seconds. Been tied 11 times, 14 lead changes.
Sharks have been in control from the opening tip, which, by the way, they won the opening tip. They have been in control the entire game.
They've been the better team tonight. Neto to Meadow. Drew Fielder. They've got to have it. They get the roll. Drew Fielder, his first 3-point bucket in a Boise State uniform.
The scoreboard wrong here in ExtraMile Arena.
Now we have 77-73. They are able to make that change. Line drive triple. Niasulu, no. It's just something you cannot have if you're Boise State. They allow a loose ball rebound, and a jump ball is called. It'll stay with the Sharks.
But another great set by Hawaii Pacific. Dribble drive, kick for a 3. Got a really good look at it. That would have caused a problem if that would have went in. Broncos have a chance to defensively make something happen.
Not what you want to see if you're a Boise State fan. Joshua West subbing into the game. If you're just now tuning in, he's torched the Broncos for 21 here tonight. Inbound, Halpert. That one off the side of the backboard and a rebound for Spencer Aarons. 4-point game. Who will step up for Boise State? Dylan Andrews. A.G. Neto. Rebound into the arms of West. Precious seconds ticking off of the clock.
Boy, West just tough as nails. Went up and got a big rebound.
Under 2 left to play. Hawaii Pacific trying to pull off an upset for the ages. West gets to the rim. The ball finds the bottom of the net. Thought maybe there would be a goaltend there. And unfortunately for Sharks fans, Joshua West is down and really hurt. You don't see that a ton. A teammate is the first to his aid, helping him stretch out the ankle.
They came such a long way. They might not have brought a trainer with him. I'm not sure, but looks like a cramp for West. He'll probably get that fixed.
That's a 4-man staff for Hawaii Pacific. Cameron Flabel, Kyle Reese, and Garrett Shiflett. So they do have to spread out the training staff. And, of course, Matty Richardson, Broncos athletic trainer, out to help him out. And you hope this is just a cramp, of course, Brian. I know you've been there before.
Yeah, it looks like it. You can actually just see his calf just pulsating right there. That is not just a little cramp. It's a big one.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
Dragged off the floor by his own teammate? We've had a little bit of everything tonight at ExtraMile Arena.
Broncos got to go quick here.
They need a bucket. You need one quickly. Fielder, a little lay-in. It's a 4-point game.
You got to pick him up early.
Just over 90 seconds left. Mesa's been so good tonight returning to Idaho, but he turned the ball over there and gives Boise State life.
Boy, Mesa has been so good, so tough tonight. Hard to guard kid, really crafty with the basketball.
And Joshua West stays out of the game. They're having to inbound right by him. He's still being tended to by the Broncos athletic trainer right there in the corner. Kind of a bizarre scene here late in a close game. We play on. A.G. Neto. Dylan Andrews. Spencer Aarons. Had been the hero at times tonight. Unable to make it a 1-point game there. Division II Hawaii Pacific. 1 minute and 11 seconds away from a massive upset. Quentin McCullough right at Spencer Aarons. 1 minute left. Shot clock down to 10.
Don't foul now. Got to guard him.
Clock down to 6. Halpert. Rebound, Andrew Meadow. Boise State has to have foot on the gas. Shot clock and game clock about 22 seconds apart. Dylan Andrews. It won't fall. Out of bounds. Who's the last touch? Off of Hawaii Pacific. Broncos just 9 of 31 from the 3-point line. A group that was 32% from outside last year has taken a step back in that regard tonight.
But just have not shot it well. But again, I don't think offensively that's exactly what's going on tonight here. Hawaii Pacific one has played very, very well. But defensively, you can't give up 80 points.
Andrew Meadow. They need it so badly, and they get it to drop. It's just a 1-point game in Boise. Andrew Meadow was 2 of 8 from outside, 0 of 3 from distance. He rings it up to reach double figures.
When the right guy to get the ball to, not afraid, big time moment, big time shot, big time result.
That was what Boise State needed. 35% from outside a year ago. Andrew Meadow. Shot clock and game clock 2 seconds apart. Brian, how do you play this defensively if you're Boise State first?
Boy, that's a tough one. You really don't want to foul these guys. I don't know what they've made tonight so far from the free throw line, but I'm guessing it's pretty dang good.
10 of 11.
90%. I'm guessing these kids shoot it well all the time, but you've got to come with pressure right away. If you don't get the steal, you're going to have to foul.
Well, if you're just now tuning in, maybe looking for an upset, hard to describe how big of one this would be. Hawaii Pacific, a Division II team that competes in the Pac-West Conference, punching up several weight classes, taking on a Boise State team that was top 45 last year. They were a second half away against Colorado State from going back to the NCAA tournament for a 4th straight year. They're projected again as a top 15 team, a top 3 team within a Mountain West that has produced multiple bids several years in a row, and yet the Sharks have not blinked once tonight.
Boy, they really haven't. There have been opportunities for them to blink, and they just have not. Well-coached, steady, rock-solid players. And they have sent a shockwave to the rest of the coaches in the Pac-West Conference.
They absolutely have. It's a league that saw a team in it upset Long Beach State in a scrimmage. That should have been a warning sign to everybody who got a team like this on its schedule. If you're Hawaii Pacific, how do you manage this going the length of the floor?
First of all, you got to get it in bounds. You got to get it in bounds. You have to know the pressure is coming. You have to turn and face the defense, protect the basketball, and be ready for a foul.
Halper nearly gives it away. They are having trouble getting it across the line. Running out of time. Boise State basketball. The shot clock is dark, and the Broncos with a chance to hold for the final shot. Neither team with a timeout.
That was the first moment of panic we've seen all game. They should have been patient. Let the defense come to them, reverse the basketball, let them foul you.
Who takes the last shot for Boise State? It's in the hands of the UCLA transfer, Dylan Andrews.
Boy, Broncos got to go to the rim. They got to go quicker. Go to the rim, make a lot of good things happen.
Dylan Andrews with 6. Andrews with 5. Dylan Andrews for the lead. No! Drew Fielder loses it. Aaron's the putback. It will go. Hawaii Pacific has upset Boise State. You don't want to call it Chaminade over Virginia in 82, but it's pretty darn close.
Boy, good for Hawaii Pacific. Again, they did not blink the entire game. Tough as nails all the way through. Major upset at ExtraMile Arena tonight.
I don't think anybody believed it here in Boise until the final buzzer sounded. A top 50 team in the preseason KenPom rankings goes down to a Division II tonight. What a start to your college basketball season. If this is November, what is March going to be like?
Holy smokes. Not the outcome we were expecting, obviously, here in Boise, Idaho, but hey, opportunity for them to learn, rebuild, and get better, and they better do it quickly.
My goodness. Upset for the ages. The Sharks win. We're back with more in a sec. Oh, 79-78. Hawaii Pacific stuns Boise State. You weren't with us earlier. This game had no betting line. There was not even a shot from some of the sports books that Hawaii Pacific would get a win. That was how sure thing it felt for Boise State to win tonight. Garrett Jones here with you, the former Bronco. Brian King here putting a bow on it for you this evening. I mean, what a basketball game. First off, Brian, like, this was an incredible matchup. We were expecting a blowout tonight. We got treated to one of maybe the best games of the year. So congratulations to Hawaii Pacific for that. When you look at it from a Boise State perspective, right, you've seen the highs and the lows of this program. How do you somehow regroup after this?
Well, again, Hawaii Pacific, that's a pretty good basketball team. Yes, Division II, but boy, well coached, executed everything perfect. Did not fold down the stretch when the panic could have set in. Didn't do it. Boise State, new players, new system, right? They have to rebuild every year. This is a very talented basketball team, just trying to find their way. It's early. They will find their way. They're going to be tested early at home and on the road. This basketball team is going to win a lot of basketball games.
The Broncos have had some upsets in their day. You think about UC Irvine a couple years ago. They've had a couple early season losses that they've been able to bounce from. You look at the final stats, and again, just congratulations to Jesse Nakashini and his group. You look at the numbers here, Brian, this was no fluke. They played the better basketball game from beginning to end tonight.
They really did. They controlled the game from the opening tip-off. right? They won the tip. They controlled it the entire way. West went off, had a major game. Boise State never got in a rhythm. Didn't determine who was going to be the lead dog on this team. I think that's yet to be determined. Somebody has to be, right? You had Tyson Degenhart last year, and then Cardenas kind of backed him up. Boise State's got to figure out who that person's going to be, who's going to run the show, who's going to take the big shots. Defensively, obviously, Boise State's got a little work to do.
What are you feeling right now as an alum of this program when something like this, of this magnitude, happens tonight?
Oh, well, clearly a shocker, right? That's not really what we expected to happen tonight, but I'm really excited about this basketball team. Super excited. Again, deep players, talented players. We have transfer from UCLA, a transfer from Georgetown. It just takes a while to kind of figure this thing out for Coach Rice and his staff. They will figure it out. I'm really fired up for this season, Garrett.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of optimism. And again, Leon Rice and his staff have been doing this for 16 seasons. Bronco fans, stick with the program, right? It's just one game. But again, if we say nothing else tonight, like, congratulations to Hawaii Pacific. This was an unbelievable college basketball game. Jesse Nakashini said it the second they walked in the door at 8 a.m., I should say. They were looking to win. They didn't care who it was. They had nothing to lose, and they went out and won, Brian. I mean, an amazing performance for a team that had nothing to lose.
Yeah, Garrett, these games sometimes are really difficult to play. You see it across the country all the time. Once or twice there's these upsets every year. They're playing like it's the national championship. We're trying to figure out what spot are we supposed to be in, right? Broncos were a little uncomfortable from start to finish. Hawaii Pacific was not. They got a really big win, so good for them. Coach Rice and his team, they will recover. They will recover quickly, and this will be a great basketball team.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we really appreciate our crew. Appreciate you tuning in as well. It was really fun to bring you this one. Again, the final score, Hawaii Pacific with an amazing upset, 79-78 over Boise State tonight. Our next telecast will be Saturday as the Broncos look to bounce back against Utah Valley. For Brian King and our entire awesome team, I'm Garrett Jones saying good night. We'll see you Saturday. But until then, thanks for watching.